Hey everybody, this is Witcher the Wizard coming to you again for your weekly Twin Flames, the Twin Within energy report for June 23rd through the 29th. Um, if this is your first time here, I'll just tell you that my view of the Twin Flame journey is really a journey within to reunite with your shadow self. And that the person that shows up as your twin, whether it's you think it's your real twin, your shadow twin, your catalyst twin, your false twin, your blah 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 fill in the blank twin, that person is really there to act as a soul mirror to you, so that to reflect back to you your shadow self, which is the part of you that you are desperately wanting to come into union with. And so their job and the value of the twin flame journey is to bring somebody into your life that very accurately and strongly reflects that part of you that you can't see on your own, that you need to come into union, and that you absolutely desire to come into union with. I mean, this is why you're so attracted to that person, because they're reflecting back to you your greatest desire, which is to come into union with the part of you that through life you rejected. And we don't ever really want to reject any part of ourselves. When we reject a part of ourselves, we're rejecting our own love, and we're rejecting the love from the rest of the world. So I pull a tarot card, one tarot card for the feminine energy within us all, and one card for the masculine energy, and then I tie those two cards together with an oracle card. So with that, let's get going. I'm actually just flipping these cards over for the first time. So the feminine energy is the Alchemist in reverse, and I use the tarot deck by Corrine Kenner. It's called the Wizard's tarot deck. And the Alchemist is basically the same thing as Temperance. There we go. Temperance. So it's the mixing. It's the mixing of the yin and the yang, the male and the female, the masculine and the feminine. No, those two are not the same thing. The high and the low, the dark and the light. However you want to look at it, you know. We live in a world of distinction, and because we have distinction, there's always polar opposites. But in reality, it's the same thing. We're just looking at different ends of the spectrum. So think of a ruler, and the ruler has, 0 to whatever your ruler is. For me, it was inches. It was a foot. It wasn't metric. We did 0 to 12 inches. And so it's just one side or the other. It's hot or cold. Right? So Temperance in reverse, the Alchemist in reverse. So the feminine, it's like, just like what I started off with, what part of us are we rejecting? What part of us are we not, have we not integrated into ourselves? And a lot of people always talk about the things that you don't like about yourself. And yeah, that's true. Often I think we start off with not integrating or disassociating from the things that we kind of don't like about ourselves. For one reason or another, we've just decided that, hey, I don't like this about myself. When I was really young, I was extremely connected to my feminine energy. It is my dominant energy. Even though I'm a big, manly man, I was in the military, I was in special operations forces, I've lived in 2 war zones. I am a manly fucking man. But given that, my feminine is still higher and the dominant side of me, right? And so when I was growing up, guys weren't allowed to be that way, and so I didn't like it. I hated that part of myself, and I started rejecting it. Well, then there's no wonder that when I look back in my life and I see that I really haven't had a lot of relationships, even though I wanted to have relationships. Women were attracted to me, I was attracted to them. But because I was working so hard behind the scenes to reject my dominant femininity, that was displaying, that was being played out or reflected out into my external life, and I was rejecting relationships with the feminine, unknowingly so. And so it starts off with you rejecting some part of you that for whatever reason you don't like. But then it starts to play out as rejecting things that you would like relationships. I definitely can say that I've always wanted to be in a good, strong, healthy relationship. But I was rejecting that because I was rejecting parts of myself. And that goes with everything. So, do you ever meet a person who can't take a compliment? They're rejecting parts of themselves, and it gets to a point where they can't accept a compliment about themselves. It's with everything. And of course, we all want to receive compliments. Absolutely. There's no one alive who doesn't want to receive a compliment, a genuine compliment saying, wow, you did this really well. Or, you're very good at that, or whatever, right? Everyone, when a genuine compliment is given, everyone truly wants to receive that. But when you've been in the habit of rejecting a part of yourself and disassociating with it, it comes back to bite you in your external world, where you start rejecting unknowingly things that you truly do want, right? And so for me, again, and this is a lot of us, the feminine, a lot of men reject their feminine. A lot of women reject their feminine because they're trying to compete in this hyper masculine world. And in doing so, they're trying to become more like men. And by doing that, they're rejecting their femininity. And when you reject your femininity, what you're saying is no to abundance, because the feminine, our feminine energy, is the energy of receiving, and it's also the energy of creation. And so the masculine energy is the energy of doing. But if it's not being directed by the feminine energy, then that doing just looks like addiction. That's what it really comes down to. Which addiction is just like meaningless doing. It's doing for the sake of doing, but it's not taking you anywhere. It's not accomplishing anything healthy, at least. So, how do we figure out what parts of us that we're rejecting? Your triggers are the cliff notes of your, like the red lights of your, hey, this is a part of yourself that you're rejecting. They are your best friends. Your triggers, the things that really trigger you, they are your best friends, because they're saying, hey, you, look at me. And if you do, I'll tell you how you can heal yourself and live a happier life. So pay attention to your triggers. Pay attention when something bothers you, when it irritates you, when somebody just bugs the shit out of you. All of those things. When you get scared, when you feel a tightness in the chest, when you get nervous, angry, any of that, all those are all triggers that are telling you, pay attention to this. If you lean into it and move towards it and embrace it and love it and integrate it, you will become a happier human being, a happier, more joyful, more successful, and by successful I mean happier, more joyful, more abundant human being. So let's pay attention to our triggers this week, and take some notes, like write it down. Keep a little notepad and just write down, I got triggered by this. Even if you don't understand exactly what it means, go back to it later on. figure out what it means and say, yeah, like this person was really promoting themselves. They were saying what a good worker they are and what a good job they always do, and it was really bothering you. It's like, and you were casting all kinds of judgments about that. That's a trigger. Maybe you don't have maybe you're not able to talk about yourself. Maybe you're not able to toot your own horn. And that's important to be able to toot your own horn in an appropriate way, not in a Donald Trump way, which is just completely made up. Like he says, I'm the greatest at everything. I bet he would even say, if you got him into the right conversation, he would swear that he was the first person on the moon. I swear to God. That guy is so psychologically broken and lies so profusely without reservation or hesitation. If you got him into the right conversation, he would swear that he was the best, not only the best astronaut, but that he got on the moon first. And we all laugh about that, except for the fact that, like it or not, it produces results, okay? Now, I don't think you should go out and be a Donald Trump, but you need to learn, we all need to learn how to talk positively about ourselves. Talk positively about yourself, but especially in the areas that matter most to you, the areas where you're passionate about, the areas the things in life that you care about. Talk good about yourself. Be okay with that. The universe wants you to. That's what jealousy and envy are all about. When you're jealous of somebody or envious about somebody, they're doing something that deep down inside you should be doing, and that if you did, you'd be really good at it, but you're keeping yourself small and you're not doing it. And so that's what that jealousy and envy is all about. So pay attention to your triggers. Let's look at where we're disassociating from parts of ourselves and where we need to integrate that. So that's the feminine card. The masculine card is, got some upside down cards today. It is the Seven of Cups in reverse. All right, the Seven of Cups in reverse. Yeah, this has been a theme for me all spring, and it's just here in Missouri, in Kansas City, starting to feel like summer. Just like yesterday was one of the first hot, muggy days that we've had, and it's been like a really long spring. Even though the other day was, the summer solstice, which is midsummer, it has been like spring cleaning. Spring cleaning has been the theme for like the last 3 months, 4 months maybe, since March, at least for me. Spring cleaning. And that's what the Seven of Cups is all about. Seven of Cups is, it's like emotional, it's emotional hoarding. You're really invested, you really, keep thinking about a lot of things, but there's a really powerful kind of way of thinking in business and just generally in life, is that the brain is really terrible at when you're entertaining a lot of different notions. And that's what hoarding is all about, is when you're holding on to way too many things. And so emotionally, you're holding on to way too many things, and it's time to do that spring cleaning and get rid of the things that aren't really a part of your priorities. So myself, I've been trying to do a couple different things. I've had like 3 different businesses, and I'm shutting 2 of them down to focus on my spirituality business, right? I'm doing energy healing and soul coaching, and I need to just focus on that one thing, just the one thing, just one. And then that way you can focus all of your time and energy on that one thing and actually start to manifest stuff. And that's the idea. The seven of cups is you're focusing on too many things. You're allowing yourself to say, well, I like this and I like that and that sounds good. But when push comes to shove, when the rubber meets the road, what is that thing that, if you were running out of a burning house, that one thing you would grab and save, right? And that's it. That's your one thing. Get rid of everything else. Let it go. And just focus on that one thing, and your life will start to see results. So as I'm doing this, I'm starting to see results. I'm getting a lot clearer on the kind of energy work that I want to do, the kind of clients that I want to work with, the kind of soul coaching I want to do, the kind of clients I want to see. And it's integrated. Like, my energy work isn't separate. So it used to be that my energy work was just energy work, and I've come to realize that no, my energy work is part and parcel of the soul coaching, which the soul coaching is basically self-empowerment. I used to think that I would work with anybody who knocked on my door, and I'm getting a lot clearer on that. It's actually, I would say, oh, I'll work with men and women, when in reality, like 99% of my clients are women. And the reason is because deep down inside, that's who I really want to work with, at least for now. I can feel in the back of my head that eventually I'll be working with men, to help them go through the journey that I went through in reclaiming my, reconnecting with and embracing my feminine energy. And I know that I'm going to do that work with men. I know that just right now, that's not where I'm at. And that's what my passions are telling me. It's like everything is directing me towards working with women right now. And I could probably have like an hour-long video on why that is the case. But it doesn't really matter. What matters is, like, when I sit down and I get really honest with myself, it's like, yeah, no, I really want to work with women right now. I'm really focused on that. I know that I'll work with men sometime in the future, but it's not now. And so right now, I just get really clear, and I have to come out and say, yeah, my ideal clients are women who are looking to really reconnect with their feminine energy, step back into their self-empowerment, right? So let go of this idea of trying to emulate men, and understand that by embracing their feminine energy fully, that is going to allow them to use their masculine energy in a way that honors who they are. Instead of trying to emulate being a man, they're going to honor the fact that they're a woman who's fully invested in their feminine energy, and then using their masculine energy to promote that, instead of just trying to be a guy. And so that's who I'm working with right now. That's what I'm actually getting out and saying, yep, this is my client. And because of that, I'm starting to get more referrals, instead of just saying, yeah, I'll work with anybody. I was actually in a networking meeting for wellness providers last week, and they asked me who my ideal client was, and I gave kind of the runaround answer. I didn't give the answer that I should have given. And like the very next day, I had a one-on-one with one of the women in that group, and she totally called me out. She said, no, when you said who your ideal client was, that wasn't true. And she knew. And so I said, okay, here's who my ideal clients really are, and the work that they want to do. And she not only wanted to have a session with me, but also has a referral for me as well. So it just comes back to, that one thing. So the Seven of Cups in reverse is saying, stop thinking about all those different things, those maybes, those coulda, woulda, shouldas, those, like, oh, that kind of sounds interesting. No, and go with what your heart is like. Your heart only really gives a shit about a couple things in life. Get really clear on what that is. And you'll know what it is because you'll keep going back to it. It's the thing that you can't put down. It's the thing that you can't stop thinking about. It's the thing that in your free time alone, it's what you naturally gravitate towards. Let everything else go. Let it go. It's okay. Let it go. If it doesn't come back into your life, it was not supposed to be there. And if it is supposed to come back into your life, it will come back into your life at the appropriate time. But let everything go except for the one thing, and really focus your energies on that. And you'll start to know that as you start to integrate yourself. I mean, doing, these two go together, right? As I'm really stepping up and saying, here's who my ideal client is, that's a part of integrating the things that I've been rejecting. So, by not saying who my ideal client was, by having that fear of saying, yeah, this is actually who my ideal client is. Like the fact that I'm really not looking to work with men right now. I'm looking to work with women who are, looking to do this kind of work. And not even all women, right? I'm looking to work with women who are specifically looking to do this type of work. So I was rejecting that. But as I integrate that and I get really specific about what I want, I'm starting to get more business. And that's how it works. That's how it works in life. You get results by being truthful about who you are, integrating that, embracing it, and getting and putting it out there in the world, either through your what you say or what you do. This is the only two ways that anything ever happens in this life that we live in: what we say and what we do. And as that saying goes, actions speak louder than words, way louder. Yeah, you can get a lot done with words, no doubt about it. Right? But actions, the universe only ever cares about what you choose in life. And your actions in life are the biggest indication of what you're choosing. And so the universe will just always give you more of what you choose. It doesn't care. Or you'd say the universe loves you so much that it'll always give you more of what you choose. And so your actions are always telling the universe what you want more of. I want more of this. I want more of this. So the sooner that you get in alignment with what you really want and you focus just on that, then the universe will just give you more of it. There you go. And then that's how manifesting works. You don't have to learn how to manifest, because we're always manifesting. You have to learn how to manifest what you truly want, but in order to do that, you have to get real with yourself, get honest, and then let go of the other stuff that is not that and focus just on that. And then voila, suddenly you're leading a beautiful life. All right, here's the Oracle card. The Oracle card is, and this flew out of the deck, I had to pick it up. What is that? It is Come Together. Wow. So everything in reverse today. Come together. That is kind of perfect. They usually are. These Oracle cards are really good. Love needs to be shared. So in the reverse, when the Come Together card appears reversed, it is a sign that perhaps a love connection is unbalanced. And since we're talking about the connection within ourselves, to ourselves, within ourselves, that we're basically unbalanced. Right? Is intimacy being withheld from you, or are you withholding it from another? Longing and yearning are often mistaken for love, when in fact they are signs of lack. Perhaps you've been doing all the emotional work and pouring your water into an empty well, to the point that now you are depleted. Know this: true love will not be denied you. What is truly for you will never walk past you or require this much energy. Drop the agendas, the fight, the need to win, and allow love to flow through you. True love will always find its reflection in another. So, all of those cups that you're thinking about, those are the empty wells. Let them go. Let them go. And I swear, whenever I put even the smallest amount of effort into my my energy, my spiritual energy and coaching work, I see immediate results. Like immediate results. I put such little energy into it, and I put so much energy into all these other things in my life that don't give me that don't give me anything back. They don't give me any results. They just, and so it, you know, that's just it. It's like, that's what my heart wants to do. That's what my passions want to do. That's what I want to do. And when I do it, it actually reflects back a lot of positive energy back to me. So that's the read for this week. I wish you all well. Have a great week. If you liked the video, you made it this far. I know I always kind of go 30 minutes. Please give it a like. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And be well, be safe, and I'll see you next week. Take care.